In the headlines, Presidential Election Tribunal begins sitting in Abuja. Code of Conduct Tribunal asked President-elect, Governors-elect and others to submit assets declaration forms before May 29. Aircraft carrying 143 passengers crash lands in Abuja following tire burst as Nigeria Safety Investigation Board and Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority set to investigate cause. And on the foreign scene, death toll from Democratic Republic of Congo floods rises to 401 as government declares Monday National Day of Mourning. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Ayuba Ile. Thanks for joining. And now the details. The Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal, Abuja, has begun proceedings in the petitions challenging the outcome of the February 25 presidential election. The Independent National Electoral Commission had declared Bola Tinubu of the ruling All Progressives Congress polled 8,794,726 votes to win the election. The panel is presided over by Justice Haruna Simon Zamani, with Justices Stephen Ada, Bolaji Yusuf, Moses Ugo and Abba Mohammed as members. Bola Tinubu legal team is led by Wole Olanipekun, SAN, while Chris Uche, SAN, leads Atiku Abubakar's team. Peter Obi's team is led by Levi Uzoku, SAN. Balarabe Mahmoud, SAN, is the lead counsel for Independent National Electoral Commission, AB Mahmoud, SAN. Atiku in his 66-page petition is praying the tribunal to declare him winner of the poll or order a fresh election. On his part, Obi, in his petition, is also praying the tribunal to nullify Tinubu's election.
Sorry.
Meanwhile, the Code of Conduct Bureau has asked the President-elect Bola Tinubu, the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, and 28 incoming governors to declare their assets before May 29 inauguration. Senators-elect and reps-elect are also expected to declare their assets before June 5, when they will be sworn in. Spokesperson of the Bureau, Veronica Kato, has said that asset declaration was an integral part of the swearing-in ceremony, according to the law, adding that several elected officials had started picking their assets declaration forms at the CCB state offices nationwide and that they were expected to submit the filed copies to the Bureau before the inauguration day. The promise by the President-elect Bola Tinubu to give workers living wage and improve their standard of living is viewed as possible moral booster for the workforce. In this report, Kabir Lawal speaks to civil servants in Abuja on what the promise means to the workers. The report.
The President-elect Bola Tinubu had, in a solidarity message on Workers' Day, promised more than living wage for workers to have a decent life and provide for their families. For these civil servants, it is cheering news and looking forward to May 29th, when he will assume office. They, however, called on government to deploy price control mechanism to address rising inflation in the country.
It's a good news for the workers. At least they will have a very large package to take home, you know, and I hope that our marketers will not destroy the goodwill of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You know, whenever there is an increase in price, then the marketers will also increase the goods, the commodities prices will go high in the market. So I don't know, maybe government will have to do something about this, about markets as in price control.
It's a very nice idea because we workers were suffering at a long line. If they give you small salary, if you go market now, you buy some things. Before you buy everything now, your money don't finish. So you cannot get anything now. Talk about to pay your children's school fees and the other things. So it's a very good idea. That's what you are praying for.
Some believe the outgoing administration wasted the opportunity to improve workers' welfare through many unfulfilled promises, which made public service unattractive.
They have been promising us, we are not seeing the promises. So if it came to be as a change to others, let's see.
It is actually a good news for government to increase workers' salary. It means money will flow in the market and people will be happy doing their businesses. But the only advice for the government is how to control the price mechanism of the markets so that the inflation will not tell more on the citizens of the country.
By the grace of God, this president can work. All the promise we promise us, by the grace of God, we get hope. Say, he must make sure saying do us the thing we're supposed to be for our country.
They advise the incoming government to fulfill the promise and regulate prices of commodities such that salary increase will no longer trigger inflation. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Nigeria Safety Investigation Board and the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority have expressed readiness to conduct a thorough investigation on the causes of Max aircraft tire burst. The NCAA Director General, Captain Musa Nuhu, said in a statement issued on Monday in Abuja that the outcome of the investigation will help the agencies to make appropriate recommendations to prevent any reoccurrence of such incident. The NCAA boss affirmed that Abuja Airport was shut down due to the disabled aircraft on the runway, as Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport is a single runway airport. Nuhu stated that a notice to airmen was issued by NAMA accordingly. According to him, the runway was inspected and swept for damage and debris by officials of the NCAA, Federal Airports Authority, and the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, after which the runway was declared safe. Farmers in Sharawa Community, Daura local government area of Katsina State, are going through hard times as a result of the collapse of the Dabiram solar irrigation system. According to the farmers, the project under the supervision of the National Agricultural and Development Authority has been abandoned for 2 years. To make matters worse, security guards looking after the equipment at the site are complaining that they have not been paid salaries in 18 months. Gaza Yakubu report.
Dabiram Solar Irrigation System is one of the dam projects in Daura local government area of Katsina State, supplying water to farming communities around its axis. But the sudden collapse of its solar irrigation system has created a huge challenge to farmers relying on the project. The major problems the farmers are faced with are drying up of the water body feeding the irrigation scheme due to climate change and influx of farmers into irrigation farming. An equal huge obstacle is the breakdown of solar energy system, which was provided by the government for over 2 years. These difficulties have increased farming costs, especially as the farmers have to adopt the alternative use of water pumping machine to supply water to their farms.
Solar is of paramount importance and it makes work faster. It has helped the less privileged. We are calling on government to pay security personnel guarding the solar because for the past 18 months, they have not been paid.
Abdullahi Adamu and his brothers are constructing water canals as an alternative means of irrigation. They will have to use a pumping machine instead of solar that was provided by the government as a source of energy.
Last year, the weather really affected the solar as a result of the wind and thunderstorms. We have to create path for easy flowing of water. to ease in the farmland.
Unlike farmers in Kura, Kano State, benefiting from the Hadejia Jamarin River Basin Development Authority, farmers in Sharawa, one of the communities benefiting from the solar irrigation system, cannot produce crop in 3 farming seasons. The challenges of irrigation in this region have overshadowed their farming capacity.
We are calling on the government to build underground water pipe to further boost farming production in this community, and it will also help us during the dry season.
The farmers in Sharawa community say their only source of income is farming, and now that the dam is going through multiple challenges, they can only hope that the government will come to their rescue. Gaza Yakubu, Trust Television News, Daura.
3 people have been confirmed dead, with 271 households displaced following a heavy downpour in Labba Kuka community in Gujba local government area of Yobe State. Yobe State Emergency Management Agency revealed this on Sunday. The agency noted that its flood response team, along with council representing Mutai Ward and community leaders, jointly addressed the area to ascertain level of damage caused. According to the State Humanitarian Agency, the deceased have since been buried, while the injured ones were referred to neighboring hospitals in Bajoga, Gombe State for medical attention. The agency further noted that it has tasked Gujba Local Government Authority to prioritize provision of water as well as basic primary health care in response to the plight of the displaced persons. SEMA assured to continue with its local government level stakeholders engagement for seasonal flood mitigation and prevention in line with NIMET and NEMA early warning signs. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at wisdom behind fear of fake new Naira notes. Details and more after the break. Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130.
A Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Really, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here is a look at the top stories once again. Presidential Election Tribunal begins sitting in Abuja. Code of Conduct Tribunal asks President-elect, Governors-elect and others to submit assets declaration forms before May 29. To some more stories, traders selling uniforms, books and other educational materials are lamenting low patronage even as schools resume for 3rd term in Kaduna State. Parents, however, attribute the situation to the economic challenges in the country. Trust TV's Bello Musa reports.
School resumption always comes with demands on parents to provide for their children. Things like books, uniforms, shoes, school bags, and many others are almost always needed. Some parents in Kaduna speak on their experience.
The parents are facing a lot of problems. Sometimes you go to some parents' house, they don't even have food to eat. Talking of paying school for their children. And there's no competition from the government. Or does the government contribute anything to the parents? No.
When the children resume school is that we have the issues and challenges of getting new textbooks, new exercise books. but above all, the pressure of paying school fees, which comes directly from the school. That has always been the major challenge because most parents don't get prepared with the school fees on ground.
But for traders who sell books, uniforms and other materials, patronage is not encouraged now as they recorded more sales during the previous terms. Few people came to buy. Besides, this is third term and we don't record much sales this term. There is no patronage, only those who either lose their books or change school location patronize us. To parents, the economic situation in the country makes it difficult for some of them to cater for the school needs of their children.
When you, the parents, you don't eat enough in the house, how can you feed your children? You are not satisfied with the food you are eating in the house. And you don't have means, you have another alternative.
Even the children trying to force you to get new shoes, new sandals, and new uniforms and the rest, so many things.
Pocket money given daily to students is another challenge parents struggle to cope with as school resume nationwide. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Now, business owners and point-of-sale operators say that the tendency of the circulation of fake new Naira notes is high because of its scarcity in the circulation, urging the government to allow continuous use of the old Naira notes. The report.
People with criminal inclinations are trying to exploit the non-availability of the new Naira note to circulate fake currency, as most people cannot differentiate between real notes and fake notes. Some point-of-sale operators in Lagos air their views on the low circulation of the new Naira notes.
They should keep the new notes. They should not bring out the new note. The old note is okay. And even the new note, if rain fall on it, the new note is spoiled. It will turn to another color. So you don't need the new notes for now. Just new old notes.
Affecting my business. It's not really affecting my business, and because I know the rudiments of the business. The second one is for the future, I think it's better because we have a lot of fake of the previous one. 4 days ago, they brought 45,000 naira to me to exchange of the fake one. So I think that is one of the reasons our government wants it out of the market system. That's one of the points. Then they have several other reasons too. So affecting my business is not. Everybody knows the rudiments of their business, so they know how to keep it up. There is no business that doesn't have their own ups and downs. So you should know how to paddle your canoe when it comes to your business.
They urge the government to prevent further punishment of Nigerians come December 2023 by ensuring that the newly redesigned Naira notes become available.
I fear now is that if they stop using the old one now, it will affect business and ordinary. Then before they could stop the old one, they should make sure that they have produced more so that it will be enough.
This new Naira notes, we are not seeing it, and we are not getting the new Naira note. So my opinion is that let us continue with the old one, because that old one is circulating everywhere. The new one, we cannot get in it.
However, business owners are advised to educate themselves on how to differentiate original Naira notes, especially the new notes, from the fake ones, so as not to fall victims of fraudsters with fake new Naira notes.
Rich cultural display by a kingmaker and Sarkin Yakin Bauchi Emirate Aliyu Yakubu, who is also the district head of Leme, entertained many spectators during the traditional Hawa Mamman Kusu staged in his domain. The monarch charged his people to pursue education as veritable tool for nation building. Trust TV's Adam Imam witnessed the annual festival and fastened the report.
The occasion thrilled the heart and minds of spectators to remember the late first Sarkin Yakin Bauchi, Malam Muhammadu Mamman Kusu, who first initiated the Daba. The current district head of Lame, Aliyu Yakubu, organized the annual Daba to promote peaceful coexistence, unity and cultural development to remember the legacies left behind by the first Sarkin in Bauchi, Mamman Kusu, a war veteran during the reign of Shehu Usman Danfodio.
Our subjects are very obedient. That is why I have been telling them they should continue to exhibit good behavior whenever they go. Though they welcome visitors, that is why the district was filled to capacity. They should be good ambassadors of Lame. They should love one another. That is the way to go as human beings.
Spectators were fascinated by cultural display by various troops, with hunters giving them a treat with several gunshots in the air. Traditional leaders as well as Gumau indigenous people commended the Sarkin Yaki of Bauchi for his pace-setting role for others to follow to promote peace in the domain.
I think I'm short of words to express my feelings.
I know it is existing, but I had never for once ever visited. But I am invited by the Sarkin Yaki of Bauchi, a friend, a brother, a colleague. We are living together in very good peace since even when our parents are alive. So it's going to be the first time. I said, let me present myself to see how it is. And for the scene where I saw, I am impressed.
The man is popular enough, has a support of his people like him. If his people not even like him, you cannot see a kind of gathering like this. So I am very impressed.
The district head thanked the state governor Bala Mohammed for his tremendous support for annual Mamman Kusu Daba, saying it served as a symbol of unity and togetherness for the people of Lame district and some part of the northeastern state. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And on the foreign scene, the death toll from flooding that hit 2 villages in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo last week has risen to 401, Provincial Governor Theo Ngwadbije Kasi said on Monday. Torrential rain in Kalehe territory in South Kivu province caused rivers to overflow on Thursday, inundating the villages of Bushushu and Yamukubi. At least 176 people were reported dead on Friday and many more missing as humanitarian workers recovered scores of bodies. Kasi told Reuters by message on Monday that the death toll now stood at 401. He did not provide any other details. The central government has sent a delegation to Kalehe and declared Monday a day of national mourning. And in sports news, Nigeria's Flying Eagles have arrived in Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires, for a 10-day camping program ahead of this year's FIFA Under-20 World Cup finals. 20 players and 10 officials landed in the South American country on Sunday night for the training tour. AC Milan midfielder Victor Eletu linked up with the contingent on their arrival in Buenos Aires. Now, Flying Eagles are expected to engage in series of friendlies while in the city ahead of the World Cup. Ladan Boso's side are drawn in Group D with 4-time winners Brazil, Italy and debutants Dominican Republic for the World Cup. Their first 2 games will hold in Mendoza in the far west of Argentina against the Dominican Republic on 21 May and against Italy on 24th of May before they fly to La Plata to play Brazil on 27th of May. The Flying Eagles have made it to the final of the competition twice in the past. The 2023 Under-20 World Cup will be staged in Argentina from May 20 to June 11. And that's it for the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching.